Ever had that moment where you picture everything going perfectly smoothly?
Oh, absolutely. Like you've got the whole game plan mapped out.
Yeah, exactly. And then, bam, reality hits differently. The defense collapses, you got to scramble. We've all been there.
We have. And it's right there, isn't it? In that gap between what you expect and what actually happens. That's where things get really interesting, especially for leadership.
Which is perfect timing, because that brings us straight into today's deep dive. We're digging into this article by Donna Franklin West, First Round Mindset, Fifth Round Reality, The Test of True Leadership.
Great title. Really evocative.
It is. It uses this powerful analogy from the NFL draft. Think about someone maybe like Shedeur Sanders, tons of talent, right? But maybe not that guaranteed top pick people assumed, lands later, maybe steps into a situation that's, tougher than first imagined, more competition.
And that's the whole point, isn't it? The article uses that kind of experience to talk about something much bigger.
Which is,
that leadership isn't just about how high you're picked initially, or what people think your potential is.
Okay, so our mission today is really to unpack that. What does it actually mean to have a first-round mindset when you're dealing with a fifth-round reality?
And how can those ideas help you, listening right now, navigate those times when things just don't pan out the way you hoped? Professionally, personally?
Right. Because the article mentions those situations we all know. Maybe you thought that promotion was yours,
and it just didn't happen.
or that project you poured everything into suddenly gets shelved.
Yeah, or despite doing great work, the opportunity you were counting on, poof.
Gone. It's in those moments, the article argues, that the real leadership test actually starts.
And what I really like is that the article first just acknowledges the human side of it. That feeling of disappointment.
Oh, yeah. Frustration, maybe feeling overlooked.
Totally. And the article says, look, those feelings are human, they're real. It gives you permission to feel that initial sting.
That's kind of validating, isn't it? To know it's okay to feel that way.
It really is.
Yeah.
But, and this is the crucial bit.
There's always a but.
Right. The article then pivots. It says, okay, feel the feelings, fine. But real leadership, that's not defined by the feeling.
It's a fine but.
By what you do next, the response.
Yeah.
That's the game changer.
So the argument is that leadership doesn't always shine brightest when things are easy or when you're the obvious choice.
Not necessarily. Often it's in those tougher spots. When you are overlooked, maybe underestimated, when the field is crowded and you have to fight for it. That's where leadership qualities really emerge.
Why do you think that is? What happens in those moments?
Well, I think adversity sort of strips away the superficial stuff.
Yeah.
When things are easy, it's easy to look good.
Sure.
But facing those fifth round realities, that forces you to dig deeper. You can't just rely on circumstance.
You need something more.
Yeah, you need that inner drive, that commitment. You got to persevere, influence people, keep going, even when the spotlight isn't on you and the win isn't guaranteed. That's where character is built. That's where leadership is forged.
Okay, so let's take fifth round reality outside of just the draft. We're talking about any time our hopes, our plans.
Just don't match up with what's actually happening.
Right. Could be a business idea facing unexpected hurdles.
Or a personal goal that suddenly seems way harder to reach.
Or even just a day where everything seems to go wrong, throwing curveballs left and right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about putting in months of work on, say, a big presentation.
Yeah.
And then it just gets canceled. Or maybe you face a career change you totally didn't see coming.
Yeah. Those are definitely fifth round realities in the professional world.
Absolutely.
So how does the article say we should handle these situations? It keeps mentioning maintaining a first round mindset. What does that actually look like in practice when you're in the thick of it?
It paints a pretty clear picture. That mindset in this context is about sticking to excellence, no matter what.
Regardless of the circumstances.
Regardless. It means you keep preparing, keep sharpening your skills, even when you hit a setback or things feel uncertain.
So don't just give up because the initial plan failed.
Not at all. It's about upholding your own standards, keeping the quality of your work high, even if that promotion didn't come through or the project got delayed. It's like this internal commitment to being your best.
That really speaks to intrinsic motivation, doesn't it? That internal fire.
Mm-hmm.
The article seems to say that real leadership comes from that, from your own commitment, not just waiting for rewards or, perfect conditions.
That's such a critical point. It's about leading with heart, as the article puts it, even when the headlines, the external recognition aren't there.
Because if you're only motivated by the external stuff...
What happens when it's not there? Or when it's delayed? True leaders, the article suggests, they operate from a deeper place, driven by their values, their own definition of what good work looks like.
Which leads to maybe the most powerful message in the piece.
Go on.
That your value, your leadership potential, it's not decided by where you start or by setbacks.
No, it's about the effort, the consistent effort.
Especially when no one's looking, right? That behind-the-scenes dedication, that shows who you are as a leader.
Precisely. The real proof isn't when things are going great and everyone's cheering. It's revealed in those moments you feel overlooked, or when the opportunity doesn't land like you thought it would. That's when your character, your leadership, really shows up.
So, for you listening right now, maybe take a second. Think about where in your life, your career, you might be facing your own fifth-round reality.
Yeah, maybe a situation where things just haven't unfolded as you expected.
How can you take these ideas, this mindset, and apply it right there, right now?
Because the article gives you a way to think about it, right? A framework for navigating those inevitable bumps in the road. It's about shifting your perspective.
Instead of letting the setback define you.
Can you tap into that first-round mindset? That commitment to being excellent, to keep growing, even when it's hard.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the main takeaway here seems to be leadership isn't about your starting position or how successful you look on the surface.
It's fundamentally about your response when reality throws you a curveball.
And about keeping that drive for excellence burning, even when the path gets unexpectedly tough.
And remember that line from the article, it's so potent. Your true value as a leader is defined by the work you do when no one is watching.
That consistent, maybe unseen effort and commitment, that says more than anything else.
It really does.
So, as you go about your week, maybe mull this over. What kind of leader will you choose to be when you face your next fifth-round reality?
And what does embodying that first-round mindset actually mean for you right now, whatever your circumstances? It's definitely something worth thinking about.